Today is Yom Revi'i, Wednesday, the third day of Shevat, the Tanya in English. I'm going to read it in Hebrew and English. Kuti Amarim, Perek Tet Zayin, chapter 16 in the Tanya. V'zeh klal gadol b'avodat Hashem. V'veinoni ma'ikar hu limshol v'lishlot al ha'teva sheb'chalal ha'smoli al yidei or Hashem ha'me'ir l'nefesh elokit sheb'mocho lishlot al ha'lev. So he says, this is the great principle of the service of God for the Benoni, for the intermediate. The main point is a person has to control their nature. A man has to rule over his nature. That according to Hasidus, we'd say it's in the left part of the heart. Then we use the light, God's light, which shines into the godly soul. We have a godly soul, we have an animal soul and the godly soul. We also have an intellectual soul. The soul, the nefesh, is the fuel, the power, what vivifies everything in the physical world, in the body. And so man's godly soul, that is actually just receiving from God's light, from the source of God's light. And we use that to control our heart. We use in the godly soul, we describe it as being in the brain. It's the intellectual power. Our head should rule over our body, so to speak. Our head should rule over our desires. What's in the head? There's a godly soul in the head that's behind a man's man or woman's intellectual abilities, and the ability of the mind over matter is an important issue here. We use mind over matter, mind over nefesh behemoth, mind over the Yetzer Hara. Nefesh behemoth is not Yetzer Hara. Nefesh behemoth is just the animal soul. Again, it needs to be trained. To go this way, go that way. It's not evil, it just needs to be trained. How do we train it? We use our godly soul to train the animal soul. How do we conquer the Yetzer Hara? We use the godly soul. The light that's sustained by God's light. God's light sustains the godly soul, which rules over our inclinations. כשמתבונן במוחו בגדלות אין סוף ברוך הוא להוליד מבינתו רוח דעת ויראת אדוני ובמוחו להיות סור מרע דאורייתא ודרבנן אפילו איסור קל של דבריהם חס ושלום ואהבת השם בליבו בחלל הימיני וחשקה וחפצה לדבקה בו בקיום מצוות דאורייתא ורבנן ותלמוד תורה שכנגד כולם. So the Alter Rebbe says now in the Tanya, he's saying that when a person deeply contemplates his bonus, takes his deep contemplations, deep meditations in the brain of the greatness of the infinite, may he be blessed. The greatness of the endless, may he be blessed. In order to give birth to the understanding of the spirit of consciousness, of the fear of God, in the brain, to turn away from evil, both in mitzvahs that are scripturally ordained and rabbinically ordained, all the details of the law, as well as all the laws that were given to Moses, to the people of Israel, called Doraita, and all the details of the law in the Talmud and the Shulchan Aruch, called the Rabbanim. That even we're talking even the smallest little prohibition, even tying the right shoe before the left shoe. We're supposed to tie the left shoe first. Put on the right shoe and then put on the left shoe. And then we tie the left shoe and then tie the right shoe. So this is the smallest of the small. This is a tiny little commandment for the detail of the law. Even something like this. God forbid we should take away our love of God. We're showing our love of God in these details. If you're in love with a woman, let's say, a man loves a woman. It's just even these little. He's going to do even little things. They're going to be important to him because to make her happy. Because women like these little things. Not just the big "I love you" in general, but I don't do any little thing for you. No, even the little thing I'll do for you. So too with the love of God. The Alter Rebbe of Lubavitch here, Tanya says that it's the love. It's like that. Should God forbid not take away our love from God for 1 second. That the love of God is in our heart, in the right part of the heart. There's the left and the right. Everything has a left and a right. It's symbolic. It's not. It's real. It's not real. It's just real in a spiritual construct in the heart. It's not. But the heart has blood in it. This side, that side, whatever. It hints of certain spiritual realities, the truth. The basis of Chassidus, the body. We look at the world and we see how God creates the world. The Chassidus is based on the Arizal, and he says time and time again in the writings of the Av, "Mi basari echazei Eloka," from my flesh I shall see God. So what the heart? Okay, so we have the two ventricles and two atriums, the ventricles, the four quadrants of the heart, and it goes into goes first into my right side, and then it goes into the left side. You can study anatomy to find the details of this. I mean, it's been a long time since my biology class, 30 years ago in high school, but 31 years ago. So, but still, this teaches of spiritual realities. That's the basis of Chassidus. We look in the world and we see the Ribono Shalom, we see God, master of heaven and earth. He put his fingerprint of creation on the world. So we look at the heart and say the left and the right. Well, the left means something, right means something. Left has to do with it. So our ancient holy ones associated the left with the evil inclination, associated the right with good and right and dominance and power and control and giving and love, and as opposed to destroying and tripping things and messing things up with the left. So as a left-handed person, I find this fairly offensive. But my left is like everybody else's right. So again, it's not one. There's not a direct one-to-one correspondence of every tiny little thing. It's just it has a representation of the spiritual reality behind it. So okay, it's not 100% accurate correspondence. We don't have to say that. Okay, because maybe for a great Kabbalist it is, but not for the layman. But in general, we say the left side of the heart is the seat of the evil inclination, and the right side of the heart is the seat of our good and our giving and our loving kindness. So here, the Tanya says that we have to be careful of all of the mitzvahs, all the details, not just the general laws, but the details of the laws, we call it Derabanan, and even the details of the Derabanan, like I mentioned, shoe tying. And that's an expression of the love of God, which is in the we say is in the called by Chassidus is in the according to Chassidus is in the right side of the heart. We do it and then we do it, and it's not just cold. We're not cold fishes. We do it with desire and with love and with cleaving and with close intense closeness to the Ribono Shalom. Bo b'kiyum mitzvahs the right to the Ramam and Talmud Torah to fulfill all the mitzvahs, all the scripturally ordained and the rabbinically ordained, and the learning of the Torah, which is of course very important. Just the learning is holy for us, which corresponds to all of the mitzvahs. Just learning it is as if we did the mitzvahs. It's a holy activity. It's the holy service of God, learning. So v'yeter al zeh al kein tzarich ledaha klal gadol ba'avoda levenonim shegam im ein yad sichlo v'ruach binato maseget leholid ahavat Hashem b'hisgalus libo sheyeh libo boer karishpe esh v'chafetz chafetza v'chasheka tshuka murgeshet belev dvek dodavka bo rak ha'ava musteret v'mocho. So if we can't have a tremendous love and burning for God, but we can only have a hidden love for God that we don't feel. Then Dainu Shebelev, and the Haggadah, this says there's a note here that says V'asiba l'zeh mipnei heyot mochin shel nefesh ruach neshama shelo mibechinas ibur v'helem toch hatvuna v'lo mibechinas leda v'hisgalus kedua liyodechen. So he says something about Kabbalah, which I won't translate, because you need to know Hebrew more to understand the Kabbalah. But he says, basically we'll say, that why is there this hidden love? So he's saying the hidden love because the intellectual faculties and the different levels of soul are are, so to speak, impregnated. They haven't been born yet. They're impregnated in a certain level of divinity, called under a certain level of an inside level of understanding. But it hasn't been revealed and born yet. That's called Ava Muster. So Dainu shelev mevin beruach chokhmah bina. So the heart understands, but it's not concretized in a person's actions in life, and he doesn't see it concretely in his life, but it's there. It doesn't. So I said it simply. He has the general love of God, but he doesn't. It's not so much in contact with it in a direct way. It's in an indirect way. He knows it, but it's not outside in the world. He knows that God is infinite and everything is nothing before God. But he doesn't really feel it. It's hidden. What is everything? It's like the Nebuchadnezzar said. Everything is like when Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel knew God. He said everything is kala. It's like la. So the Mefarshim say, what is this la? It's like dust coming that you see when the rays of light come through the window and there's dust in the room. You see little particles of dust that are gurnished, that are nothing. That's la. That's everything before God is like these little insignificant particles of dust in the room, in the rays of light. It's mamish nothing before God, and you know it. But Asher Al Kain, but then there's that. But when that's hidden, or it could be revealed that you know it with ironclad proof, so you feel it in your kishkis. That's when it's not muster. It's begilui. It's revealed. That's when you feel it, is when you're just totally nullified before God, and you go wherever, you go after Him, and you won't even think. Then you know, and you go after God without even using your sechel. It's just, and you die. You just know. You die without it. That's the level of Chassidus that we are aiming for. Not everybody can achieve this. This is only certain times, which we discussed in another place. Gam nafsha b'rucho asher b'kirbo kein yateh lahem liot kalot elav v'chasheka v'chafetza letzet v'nitraken hu aguf l'davka bo rak she'ba'al korcho chiyut הנה בתוך הגוף צרורות בו כאלמנות חיות ולית מחשבה דילהון תפיסה בכלל, כי אם כאשר תפיסה ומתלבשת בתורה ומצוות כמשל המחבק את המלך הנזכר לאל. So what's he saying? So even also his soul and his spirit, his higher levels of soul, which are within him, they come to the place where they're just nothing. They're finished before the desire and the yearning, the burning desire to go and to get outside of the body, to discorporate from the body in order to cleave to God. That against a person's own will, that is this very life force that's in the body and all of that's bound up in the body, like it's like. Almanut. What is this word almanut that the Tanya says? The Baal Tanya says almanut means that almanut can't almanot chayot. Tzrot bo almanot chayot, like living widows. It's the desire is trapped in the body like living widows, that they don't have any permission to go out and get married again, because the husband left them. They're still alive. It's as if they were a widow, but the husband's still alive. So she can't get remarried. She doesn't have a get yet, but her husband's gone, so she's virtually a widow. That's what he's talking about. That's the desire of us to come close to God, for the contemplating the greatness of God and the endless may He be blessed. It's all connected. So it's there. It's there, but we have to know that God is there even when we don't feel God. Like the parable about when you shake the king, you shake the king's hand, but he has a glove on, and another glove, and another glove, and a sleeve, and he has many garments on, because the more important a person is, the more levels of garments they wear. so to speak, when we don't come into contact with God, bikvodo of atzmo, and his essence, and his revealed glory, but we know He's there. So we have a certain indirect contact with the endless, the infinite, but may be blessed. באילוזות יצא להן לחבקו בכל לב ונפש מאוד, דהיינו קיום התרי"ג מצוות במעשה ודיבור ומחשבה שהיא השגת וידיעת התורה כנ"ל, הנה כשמעמיק בעניין זה בתעלומות תבונות ליבו ומוחו פיו וליבו שווין שמקיים כן בפיו כפי אשר נגמר בתבונת ליבו ומוחו, דהיינו להיות בתורת השם חפצו והגה בה יומם ולילה בפיו, וכן הידיים ושאר האיברים מקיימים המצוות כפי מה שנגמר בתבונת ליבו ומוחו, הרי תבונה זו מתלבשת במעשה דיבור ומחשבה, והתורה ומצוותיה להיות להם בחינס מוחין, בחיוס וגדפין, לפרחה לאלה, כאילו עסק בהם בתחילה אורחים וממש, אשר ביסגלוס ליבו. So, what did you just say? Basically, you just said, so if a person comes to embrace with his entire being, all his feelings and his soul, he will fulfill all of the 613 commandments with speech and with thought, even not just doing, but also speaking and thinking about God and His commandments. And they will have an understanding, an apprehension, a real apprehension of godliness, and a knowledge of the Torah, as mentioned. Then, when he deeply contemplates this whole matter of the hidden depths of God in his heart, he contemplates in his heart the hidden depths of God, and in his brain he thinks about it and he feels it and he speaks about it. Then his mouth and his mind will be equal. He will reach an equilibrium between his speech and his intellect. And then when he completes the contemplation in his heart and his intellect, meaning that the Torah is his one single desire, and he thinks he's always thinking about the Torah night and day, and thinking about the one who gives the Torah and commands the Torah, B'kvod of Atzmo, the one of Shalom, Master of heaven and earth. He's kind of always in love with God. He fears God and he loves God, and he's thinking about Him all the time. Then his hands and the other parts of his bodies will fulfill the mitzvahs. Of course, it'll just follow to fulfill the mitzvahs. And all of his actions and speech and thoughts will be dressed, will be garments for Torah and for serving God and fulfilling the commandments. And he'll be, so to speak, become the wings of the divine presence to bring the divine presence back to its source of divinity above. It's like the same, it's an intense burning desire. It's the deep contemplation of God brings a person to action in every facet of his life, night and day. If he didn't have this contemplation, he would just he would do the mitzvahs. It wouldn't be such a big deal. It wouldn't be in his kishkis. It wouldn't be down to his feet. It wouldn't be his entire being, his mind, his heart and soul. It would just be, I'm doing it, so what? No, that's not Chassidus. Chassidus is doing it 100%, 120%. So, this is like it says in the Talmud, our rabbis of blessed memory said, when somebody has a good thought and intends to do a good thing, it's as God, as if, connects it to the action. It's as if he did it. Well, he's counted. He thinks he really wants to do it, truly wants to do it, and he doesn't get to do it. God counts as if he did it. כי דחילו הרחימוש ויסגלוס ליבו הם המסלבשוס במעשה מצוות והחיותם לפרחה לאלה. It says that the serving God with fear and with love, with a revealed heart, it dresses in all of the mitzvahs and to vivifies them, our own service of God in such a level, dresses in the mitzvahs and gives the mitzvahs life in order to fly above. Because the heart is material. Kasher evarim shem klei maseh, like shar evarim, klei maseh, the hands and the feet. The heart is like the hands and the feet. The heart feels. The hands do stuff with your hands, and you walk places and sit and stand with your feet. But the heart is an act. It's a voluntary organ. There's Rabbi Steinsaltz talked about a British army officer 100 or so years ago who learned voluntarily with the power of his brain to lower his heart rate to 1 beat a minute, to prove that it's a voluntary organ. It proves. So the hand is voluntary and the feet are voluntary, so is the heart. So it also functions, it's both voluntary and involuntary when we're sleeping. So the lev gam kem chomri kashar evarim shem klei masa elishehu pnimi. It's just that the heart is inside. It's voluntary, but it's inside. Shehu pnimi v'chiyut v'chayut lahem, and it gives the life, the feeling to all of the actions. Lachen yechol hitlabesh. And the heart has to do with understanding, with the intellect. It brings the intellect into all of our actions, our contemplation of God into all of the actions. The heart is not feeling. The heart is the intellect. Puts our intellectual contemplation of God that is so deep that we feel it through all of the limbs of our body, night and day. That's the service of God. So Gamken kasher evarim shem klei maseh elishu pnimi v'chiyut lahem lachen yichol hitlabesh behem liot lahem gadfim la'alotam. That's how they can be wings to reach up to heaven and connect and cleave and unite with the Holy One, blessed be. It's with fear and with love. We serve God with fear and we serve God with love. שבתבונות מוחו בהלומות ליבו הנ"ל גבו דרכיהם למעלה גביהו דרכיהם למעלה מבחינת המעשה, ואי אפשר להם להתלבש בחינת מעשה מצוות להיות להם בחינת מוחין וחיות והלותן וברכה לאלה אם לא שהקדוש ברוך הוא מצרפן ומחברן לבחינת המעשה. So all of these feelings and desires that create, so to speak, the wings of the Shekhinah to unite and become a union with the Holy One, blessed be He, it can't happen unless God, so to speak, connects the thought to action. It's as if we did it. Because we just said we can't really connect to God because He's hidden. So how do we connect? God can connect us. We can't connect, and we don't connect. But God does connect because we do everything we need to connect. It's a paradox. But we do connect. And we don't. We have to live with that paradox. God counts it as if we did it, meaning from God's perspective, we actually did unite the Shekhinah with the Holy One, blessed be He, and unite with God. That's called a good thought. Because it's not, he says it's not real fear, it's not really the fear and not really the love, the revelation of the heart, but it's rather just an understanding. We're explaining again the hidden love, the Ava Musteret. The Talmud Libo, it's hidden in the heart, but it's connected. So you don't have to feel it, but you're still connected. You don't have to feel anything from the mitzvah. If you just do it, you have this basis, you're connected. And you put on your tefillin, you don't want to, you don't feel it, no reason, you're still connected. Ach tzeruf ze matzaruf kadosh baruch hu kedei la'alot maseh mitzvos ve'esek haTorah na'asim al yedei machshava tova hanal ad olam habriya makom aliyat haTorah v'mitzvos na'asim al yedei dechilul uchimul sichliim. So we reach the very highest level of divinity, well, one of the highest level that we can reach before the place where there's no change whatsoever and God is all one, but a place where there's still a division. The highest level we can reach is the world of Bina, the world of Machshava. All of this service will bring us up to the world of Machshava, Bria, the creation. This is the secret of uniting with creation. Then we're raising up all the Torah and the mitzvot that we're doing with fear and with love, and intellectual fear and love. Again, we say it's just in the head, it's in the brain, but it's not just in the head. It's a deep contemplation on the verge of uniting on the inside. So it's on the inside that we may not have a direct feeling of. But our intellectual love and fear creates the union beyond our knowledge, unbeknownst to us. So the Torah mitzvahs nasim l'dechil orchim l'sichlim asher behitgalut libo mamash. Aval it's not with the total revealed hearts like it would be. This is the hidden love. Aval b'lavachi nami olim le'alama yitzira al yedei dechilu orchimu. The revealed love goes up to Bria. Correction. The revealed love goes up to Bria and unites. The hidden love reaches up to Yitzira. It's the emotional experience, the very high level, but not the secret of creation. The secret of creation is with a revealed heart, which is a goal. But it's not everyone can achieve it all the time. And not everyone can achieve it some of the time. But if we work on it and you really want to, you'll get there. The Hisgalus Libu Mamish is the goal. Total revealed heart. But still, even without this, we can reach a very high level of divinity. The highest spiritual experience for most of the world goes up to Yetzirah, the world of formation. And just by the fear of God and the love of God, natural fear and love of God, that's hidden in the heart of all of Israel. It's imprinted in us from our birth. It's in our DNA. It's in our soul. It's just as members of the Jewish people, we have it. And we can access it. As is written, the common Barichus is explained in another place.